history is a lie. How was Beethoven, one of the most revered figures in the history of Western music, described? From Beethoven, the man who freed music. At page 18, we have the description of a young 13-years-old Beethoven. Quote, this is her description of the boy himself. Short, stocky, broad shoulders, short neck, thick head, round nose, blackish-brown complexion. End quote. In fact, contemporaries claim that Beethoven resembled a Moor more than his renowned master Haydn. From the life of Ludwig van Beethoven, page 146, quote, this small, thin, dark-complexioned, pock-marked, dark-eyed, bewigged young musician of 22 years, Beethoven, had quietly journeyed to the capital to pursue the study of his art with a small, thin, dark-complexioned, pock-marked, black-eyed, and bewigged veteran composer, his teacher Haydn. In the well-known anecdote related by Carpani of Haydn's introduction to him, Anton Esterházy, the prince, is made to call the composer a Moor. Beethoven had even more of the Moor in his looks than his master. His front teeth, owing to the singular flatness of the roof of his mouth, protruded and, of course, thrust out his lips. The nose, too, was rather broad and decidedly flattened, while the forehead was remarkably full and round. From Beethoven, his impressions by his contemporaries. Page 26, quote, his coal-black hair bristled shaggily about his head. His beard, he had not been shaved for several days, made the lower part of his already brown face still darker. End quote. This is another first-hand account of Beethoven's likeness. There are more, but we would just be beating a dead horse at this point. Beethoven, just like Shakespeare, who we've already covered, and also his teacher Haydn, a revered composer, is yet another victim of the whitewashing of Western figures. He passed away in 1827 in Vienna. Even though majority of the black populations in Europe would have left by the early 1800s, we still have accounts of black men in Europe even during the late 1800s. For example, take this painting from the British Museum of Austrian soldiers entering a village during the Napoleonic Wars, same time when Beethoven was alive. If we zoom in at the back of the column, we see a dark-complexioned soldier. It's not a shadow, it's the man's dark skin. We can also see his features. Possibly Beethoven's, quote, black, brownish complexion was similar to this soldier. Like and share for more lost history. And that's why we say,